A Republican Congress passed a law in 2003 that fundamentally rewired how the wealthy are taxed on investment income, and most people have never heard of it. Before 2003, dividends were taxed as ordinary income. If you earned $100,000 in dividends, you paid the same marginal tax rate as your salary, sometimes 39%. But that year, the Jobs and Growth Tax Relief Reconciliation Act changed everything. Suddenly, dividends from certain stocks qualified for preferential rates, 15% for most earners, just 5% for lower brackets. It was framed as economic stimulus. The reality was far more selective. The mechanism was elegant. Dividends had to meet strict criteria. The stock had to be held for at least 60 days around the ex-dividend date, and the company paying them had to be a domestic corporation or qualified foreign entity. These weren't arbitrary rules. They created a two-tier system. Capital gains and qualified dividends enjoyed preferential rates, while wages, interest, and non-qualified dividends faced the standard rates. The distinction mattered enormously. Why did Congress do this? The justification was double taxation. Corporations pay corporate tax on profits, then shareholders pay tax again on dividends. Reduce the second layer, lawmakers argued, and corporations would invest more, workers would benefit. But the logic had a blind spot. It overwhelmingly benefited the wealthy. The top 1% received roughly 70% of all dividend income. A factory worker with a modest portfolio gained little. A billionaire with millions in stocks gained enormously. The historical context matters. This wasn't the first time dividend taxation had shifted. In the 1980s, under Reagan, capital gains were taxed more heavily. The 2003 reversal represented a philosophical swing, a return to taxing investment income more leniently than wage income. The temporal limit, 60 days, was crucial. It discouraged short-term speculation while protecting long-term wealth accumulation. Hold the stock. Get the discount. What unfolded was predictable. Corporations shifted compensation strategies. Instead of raising wages, they increased dividend payouts. Private equity firms structured deals to harvest qualified dividends. Wealthy individuals could live almost entirely on investment income, paying rates lower than middle-class earners on wages. The preferential rate became a permanent fixture, renewed and extended multiple times, cementing a structural advantage. By the 2010, the annual revenue cost was substantial, tens of billions annually forgone by the Treasury. The policy had achieved its political goal, entrenching preferential treatment for investment income over wages. It remains one of the clearest examples of how tax law can be engineered to concentrate wealth, not through hidden complexity, but through explicit statutory preference. The mechanism is transparent. The beneficiaries are not. This video is for educational and informational purposes only and is not financial advice. Always do your own research. If you're tracking how wealth flows through legal channels most people overlook, subscribe. We uncover the structural rules that shape inequality every week. Subscribe to see how the wealthy navigate the legal architecture of tax policy, new patterns every week. This video is for educational and informational purposes only and is not financial advice. Always do your own research.